Hey everyone, welcome to Sideshow's First Look. Today we'll be taking a look at the Spider-Man Battling version 6-scale figure movie promo edition by Hot Toys from Spider-Man No Way Home. The box is a slipcover design. The graphical elements on the front and sides include a high-gloss wraparound image of Spider-Man in his advanced suit springing from a sling ring portal. Surrounding Spider-Man are elements of his extra-dimensional foes, including one of Green Goblin's grenades, Electro's lightning, and a tentacle of Dr. Octopus. Wrapping around from the back and onto the left side of the box is a glossy design of a web and circuitry hybrid that leads to a collage of images from the film. Removing the slipcase reveals a window cut into the box itself through which we can catch our first glimpse at the figure and oh so many accessories. Tearing our gaze away from that window and spinning the box to the back reveals an illustration of a multiversal rift tearing its way through a mandala with a Spider-Man logo in the center. Pulling out the clamshells and removing their lids gives us our first clear look of the figure and everything it comes with. There's Spider-Man on the left in his battling suit, along with all of the included accessories, including the partially unmasked portrait, the mobile phone, 4 sets of swap-out eyes, 9 swap-out hands, the Machina de Cadavis, the swap-out action web emitters, and the customary selection of Hot Toys web effects. In the other clamshell, we find all the components necessary to assemble the environmental display base. Pulling the figure and its accessories out of the box gives us a more evolved look at what we can do with everything it includes. There's the Spider-Man Battling version figure in the center, next to the fully assembled environmental display base. To the right, you can see the alternate exposed portrait, the mobile phone, and the assortment of interchangeable eyes for the masked portrait. Arrayed in front of Spider-Man is the assortment of 9 swap-out hands, including a pair of fists, a right hand for web swinging, a left hand for the mobile phone, a left hand with a peace sign, a pair of web shooting hands, and a pair of wall crawling hands. On the left is the assortment of web effects, as well as the swap-out action web emitters to hold them, and the Machina de Cadavis. Now let's take a closer look at the Spider-Man Battling version figure. The head is permanently wrapped in a fabric mask with a texture on the surface that matches that on the rest of the suit, up to and including the raised web elements. The eyes are removable and can be replaced with any combination of the included assortment of interchangeable eyes to convey any sort of emotion you choose. From the neck to the wrists and ankles, the suit is a single-piece combo of fabric combined with panels of semi-flexible material. There are areas of char and dirt weathering throughout the suit on both front and back, and the finer details on both types of material are very sharp, crisp, and impressive. And finally, the business ends of the web shooters can be swapped out for these action web emitters, into which you can install your choice of the included web effects. Now let's take a look at the articulation of the figure. The head rests on a double-jointed neck so that it can thrust forward, and back, and side to side. The head can also rotate to a comfortable degree left and right. That double joint will allow the head to tilt down about 45 degrees and up about the same amount. Finally, there's about 35 degrees of lateral tilt to either side. The shoulders will shrug, dip, press, and row. And a ratcheted joint will allow for about 120 degrees of lateral lift. The arms will also hit nearly 180 degrees of anterior lift and a little over 90 degrees of posterior lift. You can hit about 100 degrees of bicep flex with the double-jointed elbows. And the usual cut above the bicep will allow the arm to rotate there. The torso joints will allow you to hit a comfortable 45 degrees of ab crunch with about 30 degrees of extension. The torso will also hit about 15 degrees of lateral crunch and can easily hit 60 degrees of twist to either side. Ratcheted joints in the hips will allow for about 60 degrees of lateral leg lift. And the legs will also raise anteriorly about 50 degrees. And will also hit about 30 degrees of posterior lift. The double jointed knees will give you about 140 degrees of hamstring flex. And you can rotate the leg at the upper thigh thanks to the customary pivot joint found there. The feet will rotate nicely at the ankles. And they'll also extend, flex, pronate, and supinate to a comfortable degree. Additionally, there's a final point of articulation at the ball of the foot that will allow you to hit even more dynamic poses. Now, let's take a closer look at the accessories. Unlike the mask portrait, the half-mask portrait, by its nature, features a sculpted mask with highly realistic wrinkles in the sculpted fabric. It features an authentic likeness of actor Tom Holland as Peter Parker, with paint apps that include a bit of battle damage to help it fit the theme of the figure. The Machina de Cadavus is sculpted in its completed configuration, and you can just make out the button on this side. The smaller accessories include this tiny mobile phone, the 4 pairs of swap-out eyes, the swap-out action web emitters for the web shooters, and different web effects. Here's a close-up look at the hands, including the pair of fists, a right hand for web swinging, a left hand for the mobile phone, a left hand with a peace sign, a pair of web shooting hands, and a pair of wall crawling hands. And finally, here's a close-up look at the diorama base, which is sculpted and painted to mimic the appearance of both brick and stone, and to which you can attach this flight stand and figure clamp. This has been Sideshow's first look at the Spider-Man Battling Version 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Spider-Man No Way Home. Be sure to watch Unsealed and Revealed, Strike a Pose, and How to Be a Poser for even more of Sideshow's 6-scale video content. If you'd like more information about this figure, follow the link below. And, as always, don't forget to let your geek side show. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen. If you'd like more information about the product featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.